Now then, I don't know how many I've got up here. I think this is the fourth or fifth one. I've spent my life up and down the side of the road writing a book telling about a Dr. Victor Gonzalez who was at Parkland when John Kennedy was killed. Um, he was at Redstone Arsenal, Huntsville. He moved to Atlanta, and there's a lawsuit that was filed against him. And this is part of the medical malpractice book I did. I was trying to do the right thing. That's who I am. Fair play, reach out to people. I care for people. I've always put their needs before my own, which I've learned now to step back because I've had so much done to me. I've learned human behavior, or at least the Americans. Um, so I want to get this on here, and I have to give a little background, and I run out of space on this video. I can't increase it. I ran in a political campaign and replaced Dr. Congressman Larry McDonald, who was, well, he's a U.S. congressman. And his plane went down after I wrote the book. I had antifreeze put in me, April Fool Day of '80, and that's exactly how people have treated this as an April Fool joke. I should have died. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I was doing the medical malpractice book, and it involved Larry McDonald, congressman doctor. And I was writing about mind control and programming, modifying behavior and programming people to shoot and kill. And they pay for the crime when they're being programmed. They're a victim, actually. But anyway, Larry McDonald had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of '79. Ongoing investigation, national security involved. I cannot tell you the day-to-day hell that I went through beside the antifreeze. The laws have been broken against me. I've been really isolated. Everybody's afraid of it. Or I'm British, so the hell with me. I was kidnapped and brought over here and given the name of Peggy Ann Dipsy Childers. And the twins were killed. It was the name of a twin. Both twins were murdered by their mother. So I've got this on all the other tapes and the other background. What I wanted to finish here, my immune system attacks itself when I'm around chemicals or toxic. I'm allergic to them. Just like someone is allergic to a bee. You would never deliberately put them in a room with a bee, and they would only react, though, if they're stung by the bee. And that's me. It's only when I smell toxic, like sealants. So you can imagine the chemicals involved, usually in remodeling, but household, if they're real heavy, like bleach or Windex has been sprayed real heavy in close quarters, I react. And I'm just going to say this has been ongoing. My place and whereabouts has been controlled, and it's torn down my kidneys, my lungs, my liver, my legs for the last couple of months without redoing this tape, if anybody cares to go back, because you really ought to know all that's involved in it, because one of the FBI agents yawned back in '82 when I was in his office again. He said, you know what they do with what you're telling? He said, you bore them. It's only when they find out how it affects them that they care. And he was absolutely right. But anyway, my immune system attacks itself, and the inflammation over the years has really just being force-fed it deliberately. Has torn my body apart. It's killing me. Like they didn't take a gun. Well, they put antifreeze in me, and I could name some other things. But anyway, this has been the ongoing, I guess. It affects me horribly, and I can hardly walk. My God, I'm 76 next week. This is Sunday, January the 4th, 15. I shouldn't even be having to turn to the social media to try to get somebody to help in the mess. But anyway, when I came into Quality Inn again, I'm going to say this and try to get it on. It's Third Lane Road, and the Patels and Shaw own everything around here. And I'm going to say real quick, November of '95, I had my jobs had been gotten to, and I managed to get a live-in and pay the Patel out toward travel here at Roanoke a month's rent in November. I'd just gotten in there, and he comes up and knocks at the door and says, I'm going to come in and paint and renovate. I thought, my God, it's such a nightmare. It really is. Anybody can do anything to me they want to. I called the cops. Who would you call? Well, he came out and said he pretends, well, I'm sure he would have done it, arrest me. He put the cuffs like he was arresting me. He said, you'll have to leave. I said, I haven't done anything. Well, he said, you'll have to leave, or the man can come in where I had paid rent. So anyway, when the cop left, the Patel said to me, we're American citizens now. We have to do what they tell us to do. So you can go from there. Law enforcement's involved. Everybody has something to hide, whether it's a green card, illegal, tax, or the kids are drunk and get caught with drugs. And law enforcement gets stuff on them, drops it, because they will engage in what's being done to me, which is illegal as hell. It's assault, conspiracy, every law in the book. But I came back to Quality Inn after staying here 14 months. The Patels and Shaws bought it out. Maverick Holding. And March the 3rd, a couple of weeks before then, they were remodeling. But this whole thing, they hadn't remodeled anything but a couple of things. And the stuff was already in the room then, the chemicals. And you should see me moving my stuff from room to room. It only happened a couple of times after they got it because I had to leave. I was so sick, I was dying. And you should see this old woman pulling my stuff now around across the courtyard into a room just to be moved again and have the fumes start again. And you get to a maintenance, you can do anything, maintenance man. Anyway, I left, now I'm back. And I tried to put this on the last few tapes today and prior. I come back because Choice Hotels booked me in on free nights I had from being here before. And I had 20 nights. I'm left almost penniless and running from place to place, paying rent, getting gassed and having to leave and pull my stuff and buying groceries when I have the money and losing them. And I'm going to say Carl Barton, retired state trooper's name again. His wife told me in '09, this is how we run you, using chemicals on you. So I go in one day and pay for a month and make me run using chemicals. I stayed 17 months at that place where the state troopers just paid the security deposit. I paid all the rest of it for 17 months. When am I supposed to move? When I'm dead, or go in and pay the first week's rent or first month, go the first day because I can't stand it? So that's a little ludicrous, you think? Anyway, I came back here, these Choice Motels, and Kim, the black girl at the desk, put me in this room, 116. I was here a couple of days, and it was okay. And I go out for a walk and with my cane, and I could walk a little. I came back in, and I'm not going to get this on here. The fact that I'm having to sit here and do this is so ludicrous. But the electricity went off, and it was night. It was dark, and it's cold here, 22 to 30 degrees at night now. Couldn't see anything, and I'm old, for God's sake, and can hardly walk. So I call her, and I said, you know that I can hardly get around, because she told me she'd move me to the room. Well, first of all, she said they'd get an electrician. And then she called me back and said, well, they couldn't. I'd have to change rooms, and they only had one unless I wanted to go upstairs. I said, well, I'm elderly. I can't carry my stuff upstairs. She says, I know. I checked you in. So anyway, my rooms are controlled. It's pre-done. And so she was going to move me a couple doors down. She said, but you can't occupy 2 rooms. I thought, can you understand how ludicrous this is? I didn't ask to occupy 2 rooms. She said they couldn't help me move. There was no one there. This is a huge motel. What do other people do? So this whole thing has been a living friggin' joke. It's like out of central casting or something. And so I get a few things in the room, And I realized I'm